Oh, happy Friday. Good morning. Welcome back to the second hour of Lovebabz, Lovetalk. I'm Babz Rawls, and I'm doing some more talking. Well, actually, this is the first hour because I was just on Criminal Justice Insider with Jeff Grant, and we had Jeffrey Abramowitz on from Philadelphia, and it was a wonderful conversation. So go look for that show if you are interested in hearing about the intersection between adult ed and reentry and all those kinds of things. So, but today in studio, I have Kiarra Alleyne.
Hi.
The Yale University Gymnastics captain. Hello, my dear.
Hello. How are you?
I'm good. So what year are you at Yale?
I'm a senior. This is my last year.
You are finishing up.
Yep.
So tell me, how did you get into gymnastics?
Well, I started gymnastics when I was about 2 years old.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, my Lord.
Yes. My parents were like, you're destroying the couch. You're jumping way too much. This energy needs to be somewhere. So they decided gymnastics is what was going to happen. Yeah. So
like, we're going to pay to go have you jump somewhere.
Exactly.
And so did you love it at that age?
I think I did mommy and me classes, so I was really young.
Mm-hmm.
And then when I got older, I really had a love for it.
So when did you know? Because you get to be 13, 14, and you, at least at my house, my kids were like 13, 14. They were like, I don't want to take piano anymore. Do you know what I mean? Like,
absolutely. I actually, when I was 11, I quit for a few months.
Mm-hmm.
It was just too much, and it's too scary, and I just didn't want to do it anymore. And then I missed it so much, and I decided to come back. And that's when I really knew that I loved it, because I would choose to put so many hours and so much work into it. And I wanted to come back.
What are you studying at Yale?
I'm studying cognitive science, and I'm pre-med.
So that has nothing to do with gymnastics.
Nothing at all.
So you have no interest in going to the Olympics or doing this professionally?
Not at all. I mean, when I was younger, I absolutely wanted to go to the Olympics, and I decided to train twice a day during high school.
Really?
Yep. I trained almost 40 hours a week for gymnastics.
Oh my God, girl, that's a job.
Exactly. But then I decided, no, what I really wanted to do was go to college and make sure that I could do gymnastics at college, and then after college just be done with gymnastics. I've been doing it for 18 years.
Oh my gosh. And so you're never going to give it up?
Yes, I think after this year I'm going to miss it a lot, but I'm going to be done.
What do you mean done? Like, not in competition, not on anybody's team?
Right. No, not in competition. I'll obviously come back and watch all of my teammates, and I'll always be a part of Yale Gymnastics, and it'll always be a part of my family, but not competing anymore.
So you come to Yale and you say, hey, I'm a world-class gymnast. and you walk in. Are they expecting you?
Oh, absolutely. The whole recruiting process, a little bit wild, actually. They start recruiting, not Yale necessarily, but colleges start recruiting you when you're in your first or second year of high school. So
the pressure of that.
It's so much pressure in high school. And even on the other side, watching my future teammates go through it, I remember how nervous I am and what's going to happen. But it worked out. It worked out really well. And now I'm here. So, yes.
So was Yale your top place?
Not at all. I didn't have
because they're not known for. Are they known?
No, they're not known for
like
gymnastics.
If you're thinking I'm gonna be a gymnast, Yale is not where you're gonna be like go.
Definitely not. I mean, it's definitely like the Southern schools and things like that. But
yes,
I think for me and also especially my mom, we were like, what's really important is academics.
Your mother is a rocket scientist.
She is, exactly.
So she's like, listen, I'm with this gymnast thing, but listen.
You will also be doing school. Which I was exactly on the same page with her. And so there's not that many schools that have really good gymnastics and really good academics. So my dream school for so long was Stanford. I was like, that's where I'm going. That's what's going to happen.
Mm-hmm.
And then Yale contacted me and I came on a visit and I absolutely fell in love. And I was like, okay, well, if I get in here, I have to go.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you get here.
Yeah.
And then how do you become captain?
So the Yale tradition is that there's only one captain for every team, and you get voted captain after the season of your junior year.
Okay.
So I just got voted captain last spring.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
And so how many other Black girls on that team?
There's 3 of
Really?
us. Yeah.
I'm impressed. I thought you'd probably be the only one. So
I think over the last few years, in terms of recruiting, like, our coaches were really committed to having a more diverse team.
Mhm.
Of course, there's still so much work to be done. But we're probably one of the most diverse teams on campus, which is crazy.
Yeah. Do you feel that? Do you feel the sense of there's only a handful of us doing this?
I think that I feel it now that I'm older,
Mm-hmm.
but growing up, I'm so used to being in spaces like this
Mm-hmm.
that it's never been a pressure of, like, you need to be a certain way because you look like this.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, I can do amazing things
Mhm.
and look like this, and it doesn't have any effect.
Okay.
And hopefully I'm just showing other people, like, how amazing they can also be.
So now, do you think that gymnasts like Simone and Gabby Douglas and all these other young sisters opened the door? Did you see them? Like, were aware of their greatness when you were training and doing this and coming through?
Yeah. Well, so I think with Simone and Gabby, they're, like, pretty similar ages to me as I am. So we all kind of were up at the same time. So I didn't really get to see them. I always remember...
I thought they were older than you.
No, they're the same age as me. So I think the one person that I always really looked up to was Dominique Dawes. She's
Mhm.
way back in the day.
I know Dominic. I know Dominic Dawes. Yes.
So she was always the person that I really looked up to, but also not necessarily in terms of gymnastics, just at, like, doing great things. But I think now that gymnastics is something that I enjoy doing, that I'm really proud of, but not what my future is going to be, they're not the people that I looked up to as much anymore.
Okay. So how often do y'all practice? And what is the season for gymnastics?
So we practice about 20 hours a week.
What?
So we practice pretty much every day.
And how are you doing that with your studies?
It's a balance.
Oh my God.
It's such a balance.
Do you know 20 hours is like a part-time job?
Exactly. So we practice pretty much every day except for Sundays for
Mhm.
a few hours every day.
Wow.
And then our season, we start competing in January and we finish at the end of April. So it's pretty long.
That's a long season.
Yeah.
I don't think basketball players could endure that kind of a season.
No, it's pretty long. Pretty hard on the body.
And so now who are y'all competing against? Like is it just Ivy League schools or it's just about everybody?
Well, it's kind of a mix of everyone. So only 4 of the 8 Ivies actually have a gymnastics program.
Oh, I did not know that.
Yeah, so Ivies is a mini conference for us. And then we have a larger conference that is like the Ivies and then a few other schools in the East Coast.
Mm-hmm.
And then most of the people that we compete against are the East Coast, but then we'll also travel. So we're going to UC Davis later this season.
Oh,
and
how do you fit this in?
it's crazy making sure that our professors work with us and they know beforehand, like, where we're going and what classes we won't be to, but it works.
And you are a science major,
Yes.
which requires a whole other use of the brain.
Exactly.
And you stay on top of this?
Yep.
Oh my gosh, girl. You must have good study habits.
I try. I had to learn a lot when I got here. And I think also just having coaches who know that academics are absolutely a priority for you. So
Mhm.
knowing that I have an exam, I'm going to get my work done really quickly and head out so I can go. Or I have a really long science lab class. Like this year I have physics lab. So I'm going to be a little late to practice. But once I get here, I'm committed to getting what I need to get done. So
now where are you from?
I'm from Houston, Texas.
Okay.
Yeah.
Everything is big in Texas.
It sure is.
So where'd you go to high school?
So I actually went to online school.
Really?
Which is very interesting. Yeah. So in Texas, I went to Duchenne Academy until I decided to practice twice a day. And to do that, I was practicing about 7 hours a day, and I needed to also do school. So I did an online private school, and it was for people like me, like athletes, but also most of the students and like people that I'm friends with now were like international students. So maybe their families are American, but they're in a different part of the country, but they still want like a private American education. And so I had contact with my teachers and counselors every single week, but yeah, it was online.
That is amazing. I didn't even know if people know that they could even do that.
I know. Honestly, it's crazy. I didn't know until it happened.
And so your parents are like, okay, we'll co-sign that.
Yeah, I mean, my mom was like, as long as you keep up your schoolwork. I did an accelerated program. I like picked the classes based on the rigor that
Whoa.
I needed. And it worked out.
Well, it must have, because it got you into Yale.
Exactly.
Oh my God. So did you come to you came to visit Yale? Did you come to visit before you decided this is where I want to be?
Oh, 100%. I came twice before I actually decided to come.
Mm-hmm.
And the first time was just kind of a crazy, we want you, just come and visit. And I was like, I loved it. And then the second time I actually spent time with the team. And that's really what sold me, because they're such a family and now they're my family. So
Yeah. So are all of them going off to do intense majors and work and like, is anybody gonna go to the Olympics?
No, I think our team pretty much had the same mindset that I had, that this is going to be kind of the end for them, and they wanted to just like go to college and have an amazing gymnastics experience, like the cherry on top.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think for gymnasts, we peak when we're a lot younger. We peak when we're about 14 or 15 years old. So
when you say peak, what does that mean?
Like, you're probably going to be doing your best gymnastics
at 14?
Yeah. Which is why the Olympics, like most of the girls that go are between 16 and 18 years old.
Oh, Lord.
Whereas for like men's gymnastics or any other sport, it's usually in your like 20s or late 20s that you're doing your best.
So you're a wash up at 19.
Exactly. Exactly.
Oh my God. So some gymnasts go on to teach.
Yeah.
And coach.
And coach and do broadcasting and things like that.
Mm-hmm.
But that was never really what I was passionate about. I love participating in the sport and competing, but coaching and all of that, it's not really what I want to do.
So you are clear about what you want to do.
Yeah, 100%.
All right, so talk a little bit about this major that you're in.
So I'm a cognitive science major.
What does that mean?
So pretty much that means everything that studies the human mind. Yes.
So you're like Spock with like
Exactly. So
oh my God.
It's an interdisciplinary major, which means that it brings in a lot of different subjects so you can learn one thing in particular. And I've always known that I wanted to do children's medicine, so my focus is infant cognition. So everything about the infant mind and infant development and things like that. So
do you go to med school after this? Like, what do you do?
So actually I just got into a few public health programs. So I'm going to be getting my master's in public health in maternal and child health.
Where? Can you say where?
Columbia University.
Of course.
So that's where I'll be next year. And then after, I want to go to med school.
Oh, I'm sure you do. That would be good, though.
Yeah.
So Columbia in New York.
Yes.
Are you ready for the big city?
I don't know.
Have you been?
Yes, I've been a few times, and I just went recently and visited the campus. And
did you like it?
I loved it.
Okay.
So it should be good. It's going to be a challenge, but I'm excited for it.
Well, New York is his own thing.
Yeah.
But I think if you fared well here in New Haven, I think New York would be the next logical step.
Exactly. I want to try it out for a couple years.
Yeah. See if you like it.
Yeah.
So do you have siblings?
It's just me.
Oh, so you have to check in with your parents all the time because you're the only baby.
Yep.
And is your mother in Houston?
Yeah, she's in Houston right now.
Because your mother is my sorority sister.
Oh my gosh, you're a Delta.
Yes, I am. So I see you, girl. And so we're just waiting for you to pledge. Come on.
Oh.
She's like, I don't have time between gymnastics and science. So all right, so you're gonna go to Columbia.
Yeah.
So what do you do for fun? Are you having fun?
Oh, I'm having so much fun. I mean, I go out with my team all the time. Mm-hmm. They are truly my family. They're my best friends. But I also have made the most amazing friends here that I didn't think was possible to have. And I have a good time. I think most Yale people, and I feel like people don't know this, I mean, they work hard, but they play hard.
Oh, I know.
The balance is
I see
really
y'all.
good.
I'm at the Afro Am. I've been at the Afro Am Center. Have you gone over to the Afro Am Center?
Absolutely.
And this past weekend was the Black Student Solidarity Conference, which is 24 years of so Yale's looking like an HBCU last weekend.
Exactly.
Did you get caught up in any of that?
No, I think we were gone last weekend. We were in DC.
Oh, you were in DC?
Actually. Yeah.
Oh, because you have to, do gymnastics. So, talk a little bit about Kiarra, about body acceptance and body image, particularly for girls of color.
Yeah.
Because you're not what historically gymnasts look like.
Yeah.
Do you know what I
Exactly.
mean? So how do you balance that out? Because when people see you coming, I'm sure they're like, she's no gymnast.
It's actually really funny because when I'm walking around or like, especially like in the summer and stuff, people do come up to me and are like, oh, you walk like a gymnast. Or actually they'll more ask me, are you a track athlete? Because of my legs. And I think body acceptance, that's something that I think about. And as a team, we talk about all of the time because it's something that I'm still working on. And something that growing up, especially having such an intense sport at such a young age, was like a real issue for me and then a lot of other people. So I think now something that we really focus on the team is talking about how our bodies allow us to do really amazing things.
Yes.
And why that is what we should focus on and not the stereotype of what we look like. Especially for me and like especially my other Black teammates, the three of us look all so different. And we're all really strong and beautiful, amazing people, but we look different and our gymnastics looks different and we still are doing amazing jobs. So I think that's kind of what we're trying to focus on.
And do you all support each other? Do you, because because the messages, listen, at 55, I understand the messages of not being beautiful or not beautiful enough or thin enough or tall enough or whatever it is that's hurled at us as women, particularly women of color. And so I'm always interested in how young women combat that and move through those kinds of waters.
Yeah. I think for me, it's been such a growth, especially the last 4 years. Like since I stepped onto this campus, it has been, I have changed so much and become so much more comfortable in myself. And that is like, I can pretty much 100% attribute that to the team that I have and the way that we support each other. Because we all had similar experiences when we were younger in high school, and gymnastics particularly as such an intense sport. And so to be able to come together and know what we've all gone through and had these shared experiences and know that we want to build each other up and support each other and make each other confident, that's definitely what's helped me.
So talk a little bit about how you prepare for your meets. Do you call them meets, matches? What do you call them?
Yeah, we call them meets, or competitions.
Competition. Yeah. So how do you prepare for a competition? What do you do?
I think that the week leading up, it's just a normal week of practice. But I think the day before, it's a lot of things. So we'll visualize together. We'll visualize our routines, do some mental. It's just a very mental sport. So making sure that we're all on track in terms of that. And then really just the day of making sure that we're eating really well, drinking lots of water, and then having a lot of fun, making sure our energy is through the roof because we do the best routines when we have so much energy. Yeah.
So who decides on what y'all wear?
I kind of decide that as captain.
What?
I decide. We have like 6 different leotards to pick from and like different outfits that we wear out, and like the things that we wear are the same, but like the different colors or which leotard we're wearing, like I'll choose the outfit and I'll send it out the day before of what we should wear.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Wow. That's pretty cool.
It's cool.
You got the power.
Exactly.
So what is your specialty in gymnastics? What are you known for?
Yeah, so my favorite event is the balance beam.
Oh my God.
Which is crazy. I know.
I remember getting on the balance beam when I was a kid.
Really?
First of all, it's high off the ground.
Very.
And it's narrow.
Very. 4 inches.
Oh!
But I think that's why I like it. It's a challenge. And when you do it well, it's the best feeling. But I think what people would say that I was best at is the floor exercise. Because I really like performing and showing it off when I'm competing. So it's a fun thing to do.
So now, are there parameters when you do these floor exercises? Because I love watching them. I just saw the viral video of the young sister who did this whole routine to, I want to say like Michael Jackson or somebody.
I think it was Bruno Mars, if I'm thinking of the one that...
Bruno Mars.
Yeah.
And she was, it was as if she just was like, I don't even care. This is competition. I'm just enjoying this. Exactly. And it came across. Yeah. So what are the parameters for doing floor exercises? Are there rules? Are there certain things you can't do?
Yeah.
Can't, whatever?
There's so many rules, actually. But I think, every floor routine has to be 1.5 minutes.
Oh, that's it?
Yep. It's really short. They look like long performances, but they're really short. The music just can't have any words in it. If you have words in it, then it's a really big deduction.
Really?
Mm-hmm. Yep. And then of course there's all the deductions for skills and the point system and all of that. But besides that, everything else is kind of free for all. Usually gymnasts pick their own music and then they get a choreographer. We have our own choreographer for our team who does all of our floor routines and yep.
So your last floor competition. So what was your music and what did you love about it most?
So everybody picks music and they usually have it for about 2 years. So my music right now.
I didn't realize that. Okay.
Yeah. So my music last year, I think everybody really loved, especially the parents, because it was Michael Jackson. But this year, my music, the first half of it is Beyonce, and the second half of it is like Michael Bublé's "Feeling Good." But a remix.
Yes.
So really, really fun, and I love performing it, and I feel sassy and mature and grown up. But then also I'm flipping, so it's a good time.
Girl. So how long does it take to choreograph for that, for the 1.5 minutes that you're doing this?
Exactly. I think it depends on the person. For me, I probably took it was a 2-hour session with our choreographer.
Really?
Yeah.
Girl, that is some work.
It's some work. We're definitely sweating by the end, but it's good.
So now, how do you get in shape? Do y'all weight train, weight lift? Do y'all aerobics? What are you doing? Swimming?
We weight train when we have an amazing lift coach who knows every sport, but he tailors your weightlifting to the sport that you do. So that's why we're very strong. But we also do a lot of cardio because we need to have a lot of endurance and a lot of core. Because that's part of every.
Well, you got to stay on that 4-inch
exactly
beam. All right, so talk a little bit about the scoring of things, because we watch the Olympics, and sometimes we are not agreeing with these scores,
and it's confusing.
We're cussing.
Exactly.
What?
So it's a little different for different things. So for elite, which is what you'll see in the Olympics, there's 2 sets of scores. There's an execution score and there's a difficulty score. So your difficulty score is all of your skills have different point values and they add up, and your execution score is being deducted from. Whereas in college gymnastics or like any other gymnastics, there's just the 10-0 point system. And it's a similar thing. All of your skills have different point values and they add up to a 10. And then as you go through your routine, they deduct different points for bent legs.
So this is all about deduction.
Oh, yes. It's all about being judged and taken away from.
Do you get to, like, when you watch football, there's an instant replay.
Yes.
And you can argue the point. Can you do that in gymnastics?
Well, in college gymnastics, your coach can inquire for why they may have given you a score. More often than not, the judge will be like, this is why I did, and I'm not changing the score.
Oh.
But every once in a while, they'll give you 1/10 back, maybe. But yeah, that's kind of how it works.
So how do you deal with that? Have you ever gotten a score that you're just like, man, I really think I deserved a better score than that?
100%. I mean, it happened last weekend. And it wasn't even me necessarily. It was our whole floor rotation. I was like, we should have gotten better scores. But it's just the name of the game. I mean, we know that it's a subjective sport. We know that we're being judged on every single thing, what we look like, how we perform. And so we know that we're not always going to get the score that we want. And sometimes we may get scores that are better than we thought. And it just happens.
Is there any trash talking in gymnastics?
Oh my gosh, absolutely not. It's just a classy sport.
I was like, my flip is going to be better than your flip. I want to see some trash talking. There's no trash talking?
Definitely not.
Okay.
I mean, definitely not to each other.
Okay. Well, no, not no, but you got to be pumped up.
Yeah, I think we definitely pump each other up and think like, oh, we're so amazing. We're going to do a great job. But I think we're very nice to the other teams and we all shake hands at the end. And
okay. Yeah. So is there some award ceremony at the end of this season or what happens?
Yeah.
Because I don't know much about Yale sports.
Really? Yeah. So at the end of the season, we have a banquet and the team gets different awards and like the coaches pick it out. And also the administrators are there and like the athletic director and things like that. But it pretty much is just dependent on how we do in the season. So if we win Ivy Leagues, which we did last year, or if we win conference, which we also did last year.
What? Congratulations. So do you say to the other teams, I'm sorry, we are conference winners. football team or lacrosse team
Honestly,
or hockey team.
it's so funny because at the end of the year, if you do win a conference or an Ivy League or nationals or something like that, all of the teams who did that year get to go to the president's house, and we hang out with President Peter Salovey.
Yes,
and
that's
together.
a nice house because I've been in that house.
Mm-hmm.
Very nice,
Yeah.
very nice. And so do y'all go to the other teams? This is where we're going, y'all. Y'all gotta win something to do what we do.
I think it's funny because we get rings at the end of the year.
Rings?
Yes, if we win. So it's funny if people are wearing their rings around campus and things like that.
So
Definitely.
is the goal to get like rings every year, or
that would definitely be the goal, to get rings every year. We got rings last year and we got rings the year before, which is very exciting.
So you've got 2 rings.
So I have a couple rings.
Go ahead, girl.
And want to get some more this year.
Really?
Going out with a bang, absolutely.
And so what are you gonna do with them? Like display them in your?
Oh yeah, I don't wear them.
I was like, I have them.
But I have them.
I'm not Tom Brady. I'm not gonna wear them. I'm just gonna show them.
Exactly. If you want to see them, I have them.
So talk a little bit about your life on Yale's campus. Talk a little bit about that. What has it been for you because you're a senior, you're about to leave.
Yep.
And this has been home for 4 years.
Yeah. I think it's really weird. I never thought I would find myself in New Haven, Connecticut.
Mm-hmm.
For sure. But it's been an amazing experience. I think Yale is absolutely my home.
Mm-hmm.
It's funny when I'm like calling my mom and she's like, "Oh, like when are you coming home?" And I'm like, "Okay, I am home." You know what I mean? Like, and I think it's been like a family for me because like we have our little private colleges, and you get close to like really small groups of people all throughout the campus. And so it feels like I know so many people because I've gotten really close to so many people, even though there's thousands of people on the campus that I have no idea who they are. But it's all about the perception of it.
What college are you in?
I'm in Ezra Stiles College, which is conveniently located right across from the gym, which is so nice for me for when I have to wake up early in the morning.
Oh God, and it's cold, and you're like, oh, why am I out here?
Exactly.
Oh, that's good. So, are your cultural background is Jamaican?
Trinidad.
Trinidadian.
Yep.
Oh, so do you feel connected to that?
I think it's been more gradual over the years.
Mm-hmm.
Both of my parents are from Trinidad.
Mm-hmm.
And they didn't meet in Trinidad. And I think like most of my cousins and family are in the States. So I don't go back that often. But when I do go back, I'm immediately immersed back into the culture and like brought into my big family. And it's amazing. So I think because I wasn't able to travel as often or as much, we didn't get that much time off. I wasn't able to go back as much as I wanted to.
Mm-hmm.
But now that I'm older and I'm not going to have gymnastics next year, I'm going to have more time on my hands. I definitely want to go back and spend more time with my family.
I hear Carnival is everything.
Oh, exactly. And I have not been yet.
And you've got the gymnast body to be in Carnival.
Exactly. So that's one thing I definitely need to do next year.
That would be fun. I think you would enjoy that.
I think I would too.
I'm trying to do it myself because
I've
not gone. I've been to Trinidad, but I've not gone for Carnival.
Okay, so you absolutely should.
Oh my God, I'd be exhausted.
But yes, it is a week-long celebration.
Yes.
I don't even know the half of it, but I've heard some things.
I have friends who go every year, and they make it their business, and they the costumes. I mean, they spend money for the costumes, the whole deal.
Exactly.
So that's a wonderful thing. Is there a Caribbean connection on campus?
Not really.
Mm-hmm.
I think there are communities that are absolutely there, but I've never felt so connected to it that I would like go out of my way to go search for them.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, because I know you, I got introduced to you through Kay.
Yes.
Of Hair's Kay, who
Yes.
is my stylist and keeps me glam all the time. And so, and she's always introducing me and giving me a connection to Caribbean folks who are doing things in and around New Haven.
Yes, absolutely.
And so I was so impressed that she was like, "Oh, this young sister is the captain of the gymnast, and her parents are Trinidadian, and her mother is your Sora. And I met your mother last summer or last time she was here,
Mm-hmm.
and so yeah. I was like, that's a wonderful thing to sort of be connected to people and have these threads to the Yale community this way. So All right. So what are you gonna do this summer?
This summer, well, right after graduation, I'm planning to go to Europe with some of my friends.
Oh, where are you going?
We're going to a few different places. We're trying to go to Portugal and Spain and things like that.
Yes.
So it should be very, very fun. We're planning that right now. And then after that, I'll probably just be home in Houston and working a little bit, saving some money.
So where do you work when you go home? Do you work in somebody's lab? Did your mom say, you got to come work in a lab?
I actually haven't been home for the summer in a while.
Oh, so
yeah.
the heat gonna get you.
It's gonna get me. Usually I either like stay on campus and take classes or work in my research lab, or I studied abroad. So it's actually been a while since I've been home for a long time.
And where did you study abroad at?
I studied in Italy.
And did you love it? Do you speak Italian?
I speak a little bit of Italian.
Okay.
But that's the language that I took here, and it was amazing. It was
Really?
one of the best experiences of my life.
I love to hear that.
Yeah.
And so you weren't nervous? You weren't afraid? Or maybe if you were, it didn't show up too much.
I think my parents and I, we travel a lot, and my mom and I go somewhere every single year. So I'm very used to traveling. I was traveling since I was little, but it was definitely the first time I traveled by myself without like my mom there and stuff like that.
And how was that for you? Did it feel liberating, or did you feel grown up?
Absolutely. I was like, I can do things. This is amazing. And also it was like a trip with my friends. And I met so many new people. And of course the language was amazing and our professors were amazing. They made the trip so comfortable for us. But it was, the scary thing was that I was staying with a host family. And a nonna, which means grandma in Italian, and she spoke no English. Only Italian.
Ooh.
So I think
that's immersion.
So that is straight immersion. But it was the best thing that could have happened.
Really?
Yeah.
And so you enjoyed that experience?
100%. Yeah.
And so do you recommend young people doing that?
Oh,
College
yes.
kids doing it?
As soon as I meet new first years or even sophomores, I'm like, you need to go to abroad, especially through Yale programs. They make it very easy. And it is the best thing that you can do. Just like learning a new culture and immersing yourself into that is definitely the best thing.
So is Italy someplace you'd go back?
Yes.
Did you like the Italian boys?
Well, they weren't bad to look at.
All right, so you got to go home to Houston for the summer. Well, you don't have to go home, but you're going home for Houston this summer. And so when do you come back to Columbia?
So it starts at the end of August.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now, is there dorms, or do you get a place?
Well, a few of my friends are also going to be in the city, so I think we're just going to get an apartment. There are dorms, but
You've had enough.
I've had enough.
He's like, I'm gonna be in the city. I want to be in the city as a fully grown up person,
Exactly.
running around and have my own space,
Exactly.
and keys to my own door. So that'd be nice. So how many other folks are gonna be in the city? A good number.
A good number. I think a lot of Yale students go to the city after they graduate from college. And I'm not sure exactly who's going, but I know like specifically a few of my really good friends will be there. Yeah.
Okay, so that'll be good.
Yeah, it'll be good.
Oh my gosh, that is wonderful. So how's your parents feeling about this? Are they feeling empty nest or?
No. My mom she is so, like, I think the first year, we're very, very close. And I think the first year, it was hard for me to be away, but now she has so much going on in her life.
She's like, girl, what?
Yeah, she is jetting off all the time. Like, I'll call her and she's like, I'm actually not even in Houston right now. Like, I'm in London. And I'm just like, okay. So
okay,
she
Mom.
really has her own life. And we knew that I wasn't going to be in the same state for college just because Texas doesn't have any Division I gymnastics programs.
No.
So, nope.
Seriously?
Which is crazy because Texas is one of the best places for gymnastics.
Really? Huh.
So we both knew that I was going to be somewhere off in the country, not close to home. So she's very used and like supports me choosing wherever I want to go.
That's wonderful.
Yeah.
So how does that make you feel that you have such supportive parents?
It's the most amazing thing. And I know that I'm really lucky. And I think especially going through college, that has brought to my attention how lucky and privileged I am to have that relationship for sure.
So talk a little bit more about the things that you do for fun.
What do I do for fun? I don't know. This is going to sound so nerdy. I'm sorry. But I love reading.
No, me too. That's not nerdy. Listen, books are a big deal. So what are you reading these days? What do you like?
I honestly love everything. I mean, my favorite are romance novels. I am such a romantic. But I also love adventure and fantasy and dystopian, everything like that. And I think when I was younger, especially with gymnastics, having gymnastics be so intense and school be so intense that reading was like this outlet for me.
Yeah.
And I got to escape to this whole other world. And that's been so important for me here too, because it's such a balance between so many things. I mean, add in like also my research lab and like my social life and my friends, that like having the time to myself to like rejuvenate and relax and reset with books is honestly the best thing for me and my mental health.
So who's on your playlist? Michelle Obama has a playlist. Barack Obama has a playlist. Questlove has a playlist. Celine Dion has a playlist. What's on Kiarra's playlist?
On my music playlist?
Yeah.
What do I listen to? Honestly, I listen to pop music.
I don't know. Like the other day, I was watching Good Morning America, and there was this little group on called Black Pink, Pink Black, something. I don't know. So I was like, I don't know who this is.
Honestly, I listen to a lot of Taylor Swift. I listen to a lot of Beyonce and Rihanna, of course.
Yes.
And Justin Bieber. Things like that. So literally everything under the sun. But yeah.
That's pretty good though. That is pretty good. So you have a core group of friends. Are you dating? Do you have a dating life?
I do.
I'm asking for your mama.
I don't have a dating life. Oh, and she would absolutely know about it if I did.
So is there time to have a dating life?
There
isn't.
Not for me right now, but there definitely is. But I think Yale people in general, they're very much like, I have all of these things to do. I don't have time to date. Which I think you can make time for it if you wanted to, but no, it's not part of my life right now.
So Kiarra, give me some pearls. What would you say to incoming freshmen who are wide-eyed and bushy-tailed, and they want to accomplish a great many things? 'Cause you've taken on a great many things and have been quite successful. What do you say to these newbies coming in?
Yeah, I would say don't get caught up in what everybody else is doing, first of all. Because the perception at Yale is that everybody's doing these amazing, amazing things and that you're never going to be good enough, or you're not good enough, or you shouldn't be here. So don't get caught up in that. Definitely take it one day at a time, because inevitably you got here. You're going to do amazing things. And so if you just focus on what you're passionate about, what makes you really happy, taking it one day at a time, you're going to be just fine. And that's absolutely what I tell all of the younger girls on my team as soon as they come in.
So what would you say to your younger self? Because how old are you? 17, 18?
I'm 20.
20. Okay, 20. So what would the 20-year-old Kiarra say to the 12-year-old or the 14-year-old Kiarra? Like now that you can look back on this whole journey from the beginning.
Yeah.
And I want you to continue to look back as you hit these milestones of age. But what would the 20-year-old Kiarra say to the 12-year-old Kiarra?
I think I would say to take a deep breath. I think I was really stressed and anxious about what was going to happen in gymnastics, and that was my life, and even school at that age, even at 12 and 13. And so I think looking back and just knowing that everything worked out and everything is going to be okay, just absolutely calm down and take a deep breath. Yeah.
And so do you feel like you're doing enough self-care for yourself?
I think it's something that I have to work on and remind myself to do every single day. Especially this year, I've handled a lot, but I have so much going on. And I feel like as team captain, I am taking care of 18 other girls, and they're absolutely my best friends, but I'm also kind of responsible for them, and I advocate for them through like administration and our coaches. But I can't do a really good job if I'm not taking care of myself. And that's something that I have to remind myself to do every single day.
That's good.
Yeah.
I hope you keep that in heart, because you got a lot going on.
Yeah.
And you seem to be high achieving.
Thank you.
And you're very beautiful.
Thank you.
And I enjoyed this conversation today.
Me as well.
I really enjoyed talking to you.
You too.
And so I hope you stay in touch and let me know how you're doing. If you're in town, stop by and come and talk to us and fill us in on what's happening.
All right. I'll update you.
Good luck and congratulations on graduation.
Thank you.
And the summer and Columbia in the fall. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you, Harry. I'm going to play us out. Harry. And congratulations. I don't know where Harry is. Oh, there he is. We're going to play out. Thank you. Thank y'all.